Shalom, 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 shalom. I want to give all praises to the one true power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Yahweh is the Most High God, and Yahweh Shai is who the world innately calls Jesus the Christ. The Rakakwadash is the Holy Spirit in the Paleo Hebrew. And double honors to the elder apostles and bishops and prophets, a great millstone who rule well in the Spirit, teaching His word and believing His word. Lord willing, they can continue to endure and be sincere. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect that are scattered in four corners of the earth, teaching His word and believing His word. Lord willing, they can continue in the same spirit to endure and be sincere. And shalom to the people that are believers of His word. Lord willing, you can continue in the same to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. The Lord willing, the Most High have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. This lesson is, through the Spirit, Lord willing, it's edifying. Things happen in your life, emotions happen, So the title of this lesson, Lord willing, is things happen for a reason. It's kind of like a basic lesson, but things happen for a reason. Everything, especially when it comes to prophecies, when it comes to nation, people, how people act, certain situations that's in your life. Things might not happen the way you expect it to be, or they might not happen when you desire or when you want it to happen, right? Things happen for a reason, and it happened when the Lord sees fit that it's going to happen. So again, Lord willing, this is edifying. The verse I'm thinking of, or which I was meditating, is really, I think, verse 15 in Ecclesiastes chapter 3. But we're going to just read down from verse 1. So this is Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1. It says, "To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the sun." See, that just hit right away. It's a season. Everything has its perfect timing. Kids, your wife, the brothers. Hey, even for brothers that's in this truth, it might be a sister that approach you, and that could all be the Lord, but everything in this life is a purpose and it's a time. We don't orchestrate none of this. And if you move in some type of motion, if it's left or if it's right, it's all already subscribed, in the heavens, because your spirit was created in the heavens, right? So Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1 again, "To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up, and a time which is planted," So this is why you might have a child in this season, or you might have another one in the next season, right? That hey, it was a time to be born, and we can't. It's really hard to question the Lord, but you have it right in the scriptures, right? So it was a time, and now that happened, it's already done. A time to plant. In real life, you planting seeds in your garden, but when we look at it in the spirit, it's a time to plant. We go into Timothy. The Lord tells us that we need to be instant in season and out of season. So you got to be in every season to plant a seed, right? A time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to break down, a time to build up. You know, we're not in the time to kill yet. To being truthfully honest, we're not in the time to kill. You know, the Lord haven't given us the go. He haven't put it on our spirit like he did Samson or David, you know, the mighty men of the Lord. It's not our time yet, right? And it's a time to heal, you know. And you have different examples of healing, you know, body healing. Usually you get a scar, it takes time for that to heal. Of course, you do certain procedures, right? It's a time to heal when you can be going through something in your emotions. You lost somebody, right? A time to break down, you know? It's a time for everything. A time to build, a time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance, right? And we have moments when we weep, but when it comes to this truth, weeping because of your oppressors, how they ruling over you. In some cases, some of us brothers, we just laugh at certain things because some things is out of your control, right? It's a time to laugh, you know? But we're not in a period of joy, you know? But the joy is really seeing that this place is almost about to fall. Destruction is about to happen. You know, a time of mourn, you know, basically to grieve, right? And a time to dance like David. A time like ain't no other, right? Verse 5, it says, a time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace, a time to refrain from embracing. You know, it's a time to embrace, and it's a time to refrain from embracing, you know. And sometimes that happens, like you can waking up. Of course I have Yahweh Shema Shai in my mind, but then you have the reality of you don't want to be here. The next day you go to work and you can see that you're in a system which you are providing, you are working, but you're a slave employee. You read between the lines, you see how people treat you at work, right? So it is a time to embrace, and it's a time to refrain from embracing. Every day is not about to be smiles and a cupcake. Sometimes you might wake up and it might be anger in you, not anger where you cause yourself to sin, right? So verse 6, it says, a time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, right? So it's a time to get, you know. You might have your rinky-dinky car, and the Lord might cause an action to happen, and then through the Spirit, you actually end up getting a car, you know. It's a time to get. But literally, when we look in this truth, when we serving Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, you want to look at that in every aspect of the scriptures. It's a time to get, a time to lose. Sometimes you might lose a loved one. You might lose a job. There's going to come a time where that MOTB is pushed. That's going to be a time to lose. But that's going to really see who been holding on to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. You know, was watching, you know, the Samson clip, getting my hair braided, where he said, I don't think he didn't say, Lord, don't fail me, but Lord, don't be moved away from me. Something in that line, right? Because he was in a point of danger, but he knew that he had strength, but he called and believed on his power, which is Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, right? And it's a time to keep and a time to cast away, right? Verse 7, it says, a time to rend, a time to sow, a time to keep silence, and a time to speak, you know? This is for men and women, you know? Every time you might not have that talkative spirit where you wake up and you saying hi to everybody, you know? That don't mean you dislike anybody. You know, it's just that just it hits you. Something is happening within. You know, especially if we're worshiping the Lord in spirit and in truth. Sometimes you wake up happy, but you wake up unbothered, right? You have a spirit where you might not want to be bothered. Not bothered like stay the hell away from me, but you're in the zone, right? And it's gonna be times where we're gonna keep silent. There's gonna be time where you talkative and you're just a jittery bug, right? Verse 8, it says a time to love, a time to hate, which is love less, right? A time of war and a time of peace, right? Let's see what this definition for the hate. It says feel intense or passionate dislike for someone, right? It's gonna be a time where you dislike somebody, you know? Shoot, it might right now, a lot of us we hate that nigga spirit, you know? Right now, we in a time where the nigga spirit is getting sifted out, getting pointed out that that's not the spirit any Jake should be in, you know, the nigga spirit, which is literally the 2/3, right? But a time to love. And what is real love? Love when it's a deed or it's in truth, you know? Love is not considered emotion and feeling, right? Because it has its own title, emotions and feelings. But love is an action and it is a deed. I mean, it's a deed and it's a truth, right? The deed is the action, right? The truth is what you stand on or what you speak, your movement. Everything you might do is in truth, right? And a time of war. We're in war every day, which is in the spirit, right? But soon we would get to a moment where we would be in physical war, in a time of peace. Right now, we're not at that time of peace. The real peace is when Yahushua come, but we have peace when it comes to teaching his word. You have peace when you're gathered with your brothers. Now, for the sisters, it can be the same when you're around sisters of the same cloth, right? But most sisters is not in the spirit like men. This is just being honest. You know, most women is not in the spirit like men. Precept upon precept can talk about the word damn near all day. You know, it's men, you know. Verse 9, it says, what profit have he that worketh in that wherein he laboreth? I have seen the travail which the Most High have given to the sons of men to be exercised in it. He hath made everything beautiful in his time. Also, he hath set the world in their heart, so that no man can find out the work that God maketh from the beginning to the end. In the NLT, I'll just read it. It says, yet the Most High has made everything beautiful for its own time. He has planted eternity in the human heart. But even so, people cannot see the whole scope of the Most High's work from beginning to end. See, that eternity is in the heart, is in the mind, right? That everlasting life. And it's really in the elect. You know, it's a desire. It's a want. You know? That's what that eternity is, a desire. It's a permanent peace, right? Verse 12, it says, I know that there is no good in them, but for a man to rejoice and to do good in his life, right? And also that every man should eat and drink. Salaki, the brother riding his dirt bike, read it again, verse 13. And also that every man should eat and drink and enjoy the good of his labor. It is gift of God, right? Basically the fruits of your labor. You enjoy it by what? What is your fruits? The brothers and sisters that come hearing this word. It's not a boasting thing, I'm the best or I'm better or anything, right? You can have fruits which is in your household, you know, talking to the men, your wives, or children, you know. That's your first fruit in this thing if you do have a household, right? Because you must dwell with your wife according to knowledge. You must be the actual example of this truth, right? It's going to be some things that your wife might not accept, but that's really just the flesh. If you going according to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, most women is going to move still as a wife. She's going to make sure she's playing her role, right? That's the adjust of it, right? But your fruit is the fruit you have in the Most High's ministry, right? Verse 14, I know that whatsoever God doeth, it shall be forever. Nothing can be put to it, nor anything taken from it. And God doeth it that men should fear before him, right? Because it's the Most High that gives. It's the Most High that takes, right? Especially when it comes to giving life or taking life. That's Salaki. This is 1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 6. The Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. Everything is in the Lord's hand. You know, everything is in the Lord's hand. We're in his story. You know, you have your role, you have your script, right? It says he raiseth up the poor out of the dust and lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill, to set them among princes and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and he hath set the world upon them. He will keep the feet of his saints, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness, for by strength shall no man prevail. The adversaries of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, shall be broken into pieces. Out of heaven shall he thunder upon them. And the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai shall judge the ends of the earth, and he shall give strength unto his king, which is Hamashiach Yahushai, and exalt the horn of his anointed. That anointed, that horn is a power, right? That anointed is a king, and that anointed is going to have a kingdom, right? Which is Hamashiach Yahushai, right? Back to Ecclesiastes 3, verse 14, it says, I know that whatsoever God doeth, it shall be forever. Nothing can be put to it, nor anything taken from it. And the Most High doeth it that men should fear before him. And this is the point of the whole lesson, verse 15, that which have been is now, and that which is to be have already been. And the Most High requireth that which is past. I'm going to read this in the NLT. It says, what is happening now has happened before, and what will happen in the future has happened before, because the Most High makes the same things happen over and over again. I'm going to read that one more time, right? Verse 15 in the NLT, what is happening now has happened before, and what will happen in the future has happened before, because the Most High makes the same things happen over and over again, right? And this is why even more this lesson is going to be titled Things Happen for a Reason, right? And it's all because of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Slavery happened before this. Slavery happened before that time, right? And what will happen in the future has already begun, right? When a ruler would get up and try to make a crafty device. When you look in the book of Daniel, you've seen how they made a statue, or the king wanted to make a statue of himself. And if as soon as the bell or a sound or a warning go out, everybody was supposed to fall and worship this statue. And if you didn't, you'd be put to death, right? So that was a wicked device, to trap you. But through the Spirit, the Lord is looking, he's watching. Who's going to stand up against the evildoers? Who's going to stand up against these wicked nations, right? Not being prideful, but being humble, but being proud of serving Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai with full measure, right? Even in the Greeks, we were supposed to walk away from our laws and our customs, right? But who was going to stand up and endure? You had some that did still keep the ways of the Lord, and their babies got killed. They hung their children, But just in this time, how much more for this time? You're going to have people, literally the elite of this captivity is going to push for an MOTB, right? And people is going to take that MARK, right? They're going to take that stigma to be part of this society. But if you don't take it, that's your ass. You're going to they're going to most likely try to pursue to kill you, right? And reading that verse again in the NLT, what is happening now has happened before. And what will happen in the future has happened before, because the Most High makes the same thing happen over and over again. Now I'm going to go to the cross reference, and they're giving you Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 9 and 10. The things that have been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It have been already of old time, which was before, right? Which even goes into the Lord having a elect, right? He raised up Samson at a young age. He called him, right? You had Hannah, who was dedicating Samuel to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Ain't nothing new under the sun, because it already happened. The elect is dedicated to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. It was ordained, right? Your mother or your father dedicated you to the Lord. And on this side, in each captivity, you might look at your mother and father, and they might not be in this truth, right? Because you were already selected before the foundation of the world, right? And your true father is Yahweh, Yahweh Shai is the father of all creations. As a nation, Yahweh Shai is the husband. He called his favorite, right? Because that's what the elect is. They are a favorite, And the Lord left a remnant, Salaki, not a raiment, a remnant to remain in this ministry, or to remain in his light, right? So we have to give all praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Lord willing, we're of that number, Lord willing, we can continue to do what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai wants us to do, right? Because everything happened for a reason, right? The Lord did not just put you in this truth just to waste your life or waste your time. This is the most important thing. And the Lord only chose people that is going to endure. Us in the flesh, what are we going to do? We're going to call on the Lord to give us the strength that we need to overcome, right? And that's what we need. We need Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai to let us overcome, because it's really the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai that moves us in the inside. Lord willing, this is edifying to the hopeful elect, whoever it may be. Continue to pursue, And like I said, for the title of this lesson, again, is everything happens for a reason. Shalom.